Howdy folks, Kirk, Dan, and Carl here on straw bale. I'm going to show you guys some straw bale techniques. Now I did a video here with these guys about 3 months ago, and we got some comments that I want to address. So I figured I'd come all the way back here to address those comments, guys. One of them was, well, won't that catch fire? No. You need oxygen to catch fire. Just like that movie with Ron Howard, I forget the name of it, Backdraft. Without oxygen, it can't catch fire. And when we stucco the inside as well as the outside, that creates a barrier. You got to have oxygen for a fire. The second comment we got a lot of was, hey, what if a rat gets in there? What if a rat gets in there, guys? Say a car hits a wall and you've got some, a big hole in the exterior of the wall. Yeah, a rat can get in there. Or what if you hit this with, say you're moving furniture, a refrigerator hits it, and it creates a dent. Well, are you sure a rat can get in there? Rats like to stay warm just like us. But if a rat got into any straw bale stucco, they can't eat it, guys. It's not edible. It's not the same hay they use to feed horses. What else have I received? Oh yeah, a lot of people say, hey Kirk, aren't you supposed to be using lime plastering? Yes, straw bale should be breathable, guys, inside as well as outside. So after, quick save. After we, thank you, Mackenzie, got to have a good hod carrier too. After we spread out this wheelbarrow, I'm going to take you outside. I'm going to show you a material that we're using. This is ChemSet EcoPlast 50. Long name, but there's a reason for it. I'll show you it and show you some of the benefits, advantages. There's no disadvantages. And I'll show you the material they have been using. Before I forget, we usually wet the wall. We hydrate the wall with that guy right there. That's just like a Hudson sprayer. You wet it. This is done with a different material, a plastic cement. I'm going to show you that outside too. And guys, some folks say, gee whiz, how can you use a large hawk and trowel like that? Here's your average hawk and trowel. I say, guys, use whatever hawk and trowel you're comfortable with. Don't go for the big one just because we're using them. We're kind of experienced. So, for those who say, gee, what kind of lime plaster are you using? Guys, there's a whole bunch of different lime plasters, a whole bunch. This ChemSet is the one I've been referring folks for years because it's volcanic glass, glass beads, DE, what's DE? Diatomaceous earth, and lime. Now, it's antimicrobial. That just means mud. Antimicrobial. That means bugs, bacteria cannot survive in it. So it's good stuff, guys. Again, as soon as we run out of mud here, I'm going to take you outside and show you the actual cement or the lime we're using, because this mud can be used inside or outside. Who makes it? This stuff is made in Turkey, guys. So obviously if it's made in Turkey, it has to come here by shipload. My buddy Hickman, he lives in Los Angeles, city of the bars, moving in cars, the city of false hopes and dreams. Anyhow, I called him. I said, hey, Hickman, my sons are doing some straw bale work in, well, 3 hours from my house. And I said, they're doing it with plastic. And that's what you should be using. Plastic is another name for lime. Here in California, we are, I guess the right word would be, we're handcuffed to what they sell in California. So I told Hickman, I said, man, can you ship me some bags? And he said, scoot on to that other side, Dan. He said, well, yeah, I can get them to you. When do you need them? And I said, well, maybe a month. 2 days later, I've got the bags at my house in Alameda. And note this, guys. This is, again, you get what you pay for, no matter what you're trying to get in life. Why do I say that? Because this right here, guys, is a lightweight plaster. I'll show you when I get outside. You can lift the bags. They're 40-pound bags, but they look like they weigh 200 pounds. They don't. Anyhow, you can put a lot of mud on it. And guys, with straw bales, say you have an indentation. The camera won't show this, but this indented 6 inches right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this out a little bit. I'm going to put like 2 inches. Actually, I'm putting about 4 right here. Because these guys want some character in these walls, but not that much character. I'll show you some of the house, and I'll show you what Dan and Carl has done. They've done a great job here. And again, this is Sonora. There's a lot of straw bale building in Sonora. Why? Because it insulates well. So does this so-called plastic they sell in this area. Plastic is what is considered lime, guys. And we are using a straight lime here. Again, is this sold in California? Well, my buddy sells it, Hickman rather. Anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling for a minute, and what I'll do is I'll take you outside, and for those of you who say, gee whiz, I want the cheapest alternative to spread out my straw bale. I'll show you both alternatives, because this one here is not all that cheap, but and plus it's got to be truckloaded. Of course, I didn't pay for it. I'll tell you what my buddy Hickman did. That it, Mackenzie? Cool beans. Well, I told Hickman, I said, can you get it to my house, and how much to deliver it? And he says, well, Kirk, I'll get it to you. We'll get back on delivery. And so it came to my house a day or two later, and there was no cost. So I called Hickman. I said, hey, Hickman, you forgot. What's the bill? And he says, well, you said you're doing this as a favor for your sons, right? And to show folks all the materials? I said, yeah, that's what I'm doing. He says, how about this? I'll donate it because of that reasoning right there. And I thought, really? And he said, yeah, I'll donate the material, and you just show how it's done using it. And I thought, man, I've used this material like 6-7 times. How come you didn't tell me that before? He says, those times you were making money. If you're donating your time right now and you're going to show my product, then I'll donate it. And I thought, well, I don't want to argue with you over that. Anyhow, guys, I'm using up the rest of this mud. We're only mixing like 3 bags at a time, because we got a little baby mixer out there. But again, I'm not certain if the camera shows all these humps and bumps, but if it doesn't, I'm going to show them to you throughout the house as soon as I put this last hock on right here, which I'm looking for all these low spots. And again, this can go endlessly thick, back to back to back. There's no such thing as putting on 2 inches at a time, but can I do it? Sure, I can. But you don't want to do that. And with Chemset, you want to keep your trowel clean because it's kind of a sticky material. Picture it, guys, like Stucco on steroids, because it's the soundproofing, the weatherproofing, and all the rest of the advantages are too much to explain. So as we're mixing now, I'm going to show you the material just in case you say, gee whiz. I want to go with a different material than sand and cement. This is very user-friendly. You don't add sand. It's got everything. Okay, guys, what we're doing is the top now. We're not going to show you the whole top. What I'm going to do is I just set up a little contraption here for me to get up. And I'm just going to knock out some of these very tops where it's about 6 inches hollow. And again, guys, coat after coat after coat. Thank you. Coat after coat, guys. And as soon as I get this top done, all right. Yeah, I like to always get my corners, guys. Get your corners, get your tops. And for those who might say, well, shouldn't you start from the top? Absolutely. But I can start from the top or the bottom or the side. I can use any hock or trowel. Hell, I could use my shoe to put this on. And I have in video. But they're not boots. They're actually dancing type shoes. You name it, we've used it to put it on, guys. So hopefully that'll stop the folks who say, hey, Kirk, you didn't start from the top. You're not a professional. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So in a couple minutes, we'll take you out front and we'll show you the difference in material as far as what you can buy in California and what you may have to send in for. Again, this is a great lime for this particular method. It's a bit loose, but can we work it? Absolutely. You know it's loose where it just sinks in. But that just means you don't have to wet the straw bale that much because this is wetting it. Anyhow, Carl and I are going to go ahead and show you the type of material that we're using today. And there's, again, guys, I can talk about material use all day long. It's not like cob, which is straw, clay, and whatever else material you want to put in. Go ahead, Dan. It's all yours. You want to use my big tools? I'll put them right here. And guys, a radius, this is not a complete radius. This is a straight line here, and this is a straight line. A complete radius is for concrete, and it doesn't go 5 inches wide. It's 4 inches or 3 inches to push down on concrete to get the rocks in. Oh, that's another story. But let me show you. I'll take you outside here, guys. If you can do a 360 of this car. Now, this is a very large house, guys. It's mighty big, and it's 2-story outside. There's a lot of stuff. Let's let Mackenzie get through. I want to show you guys something outside. Last time I was here, like 2 months ago, it was snowing, and I was trying to prove a point, but we didn't want to get the camera wet. Go sideways here, Carl, please, so I could point this out. Okay, guys, welcome to Straw Bale. Hello. Welcome to straw bale. You see these gaps? It's not always perfect, guys. In fact, it's you can see all this stuff here. This is I'm using this as a rod. Now, if you come over here, and is this a big deal, guys? This is straw bale. Straw bale is your house, your rules. If you want it a certain which way, you can do it whatever way you want, guys. Take a quick type of 360 here just to show what they did. And they did this like 25 years ago, and nothing's wrong. It can't be washed off, guys. This is not clay, or it's not mud. It's lime plaster. Lime plaster is pervious to the weather. The weather won't hurt this one bit, but it always helps if you're doing straw bale to have big eaves. You don't really want it in direct rain, but the rain this can last underwater. Okay, I'm gonna come over here and show you guys something. Now McKinsey's not gonna like that, but I'll show you something here first. Okay, well, we're right here. Guys, this is sand, and this is plastic cement. 99% of the houses done in California, or say the rest of the country, they're using sand and they're using lime. This says plastic. What does that mean? Plastic is another word for lime. They also have common, but that's a different animal. We don't want to use common. We just want to use plastic. It's breathable. Now in the UK, they have a different method there because lime comes from there. To ship lime here from the UK, it's quite expensive. Let's go over, in case some of you guys say, well, gee whiz, this is the way I want to go. 3 shovelfuls versus 1 shovelful, or 100-pound bag to 300 pounds of sand. That is typical for your lime plastering. Whether or not you're going over straw bale, styrofoam, bricks, block, any of that stuff. I'll show you here too, guys, since here's the bags, guys. Now look at this. And I'm not that strong, guys. They're 40-pound bags. You want to step over here, Carl, so I could show this, since Hickman was kind enough to donate it. The EcoPlast 50, crummy name. Anyway, it's thermo-insulating plaster, lightweight glass beads, polymer modified. It is class 1 fireproof, high insulation value, hydrophobic, what is that? Mold and mildew resistant. And all you need, guys, is just to mix this with water. You don't add any sand. That's why it's so lightweight. Vapor permeable. That's like lime. Lime it's breathable. People should have lime for straw bale so it can breathe. I won't get into detail on that. This is used for interior as well as exterior. Sound deadening, environmentally friendly, silica free. Silica, that's a big one. Okay. Now I point that out because this you could go again 2, 6, 7 inches, and for straw, what's the average thickness, guys? 3 inches for straw bale if it's done excellently. Have I done it excellently? No. I would plaster it and fill out any missed areas, like what we're doing right now. Some of it's 6 to 8 inches thick, but then again, that's not relevant to what we're trying to show here. I'm just showing you the plaster that I recommended for this particular, because a lot of people said, well, gee, how come you're not using real lime? That is real lime, guys, in the United States. This is real lime in the UK. And yes, you'd have to call Hickman or some other material distributor and have it sent to your house if you want to do this. It's lightweight. It's probably double the cost, guys. Let's get that out of the way right now. But it's better for straw bale. Anyhow, we're going to go back inside. Let's see what Dan is doing, and we'll follow up on bottoming up. All right, guys. Scratch and brown, done. It's a base coat. We're finishing it with with pull trowels. Let me show the difference here. This is a pull trowel, but it's got a flat surface. Now you see this one has a radius. The full radius, is not really good for doing what we're doing. And a square trowel, good luck. I can't even do it with a square trowel where it'll put lines in it. It's just you can't use it. I was doing this, then Carl and Dan said, Dad, you're making the wall true and plumb straight. It's habit. Stop it, because we want to give it the Lord of the Rings look, the Hobbit look. You got to follow me over here, Carl. I got to prove a point. I'm going too straight. Now this whole kitchen in here, this is sheetrock, but the walls, all the exterior walls, take too long to go bedroom by bedroom or show the entire exterior because it's a large house. This is what they want. Now this is that Hobbit look or Lord of the Rings. Now if you put a 2x4 on it, you can see sideways. This is not a true and plumb wall. If you want true and plumb sheetrock, or you can put layer after layer after layer, but the Hobbit look or that UK look for certain houses, I have to stop myself and say, okay, stop going so perfect. You're not giving them the look they want. So I put it on a little thick and it dropped out. Anyhow, back to what we're doing here, guys. I let that set because that's 3 to 5 inches in some certain areas. And so now we're going with a looser material. I don't want it just as stiff as the first coat. And by the way, the straw bale will suck the moisture out anyway. So here's the second coat. Now with the second coat, I got to remind myself, do not go super thick or straight. That's just my nature to make walls straight. So this is the follow-up coat. Remember, lightweight stuff, guys. And if you want less aggregate showing, or this is glass beads, DE, it doesn't have silica or sand in it. You just put a little heavier, a little tighter after the first coat or coats dry. And you can give it some variation by going sideways. And the beauty of this particular trowel, swim pool trowel, guys, is it won't leave a whole bunch of lines. So I'm trying to give it the Hobbit look now. Intentionally put some indentations in it. It may not be showing that I'm putting the indentations, but that's what I'm doing. I would suggest if you guys are doing this or thinking about doing it, do a scratch coat. Then come back another day and put a follow-up back-to-back coat. And again, this stuff is gluey. I compare it to Stucco plastering. Stucco has been around for hundreds of years, and it's used primarily for hospitals, schools, for insulation values. Does straw bale need any more insulation? No. It's already got the really high ratio for insulation that our stuff. I mean, let's face it, 2 feet thick of walls, that's mighty thick indeed. Straw bale is another thing. Let's compare straw bale to, say, the structures of buildings, the castles in the UK 10,000 years ago. Those castles are made with rock and lime. Lime holds the rock together, or the stones Now, if you own a castle, guys, and it's made of stones, you're going to have a fire going in the winter 24/7, and you're still not going to heat that building up. Straw bale is quite different. You heat it up once, it retains all of its R value or the insulation. So, don't go building a castle with rocks and stones. So, I'm getting closer. What I'm going to do, guys, is finish applying this because it's going to take me another 15 minutes. Nobody wants to hear me ramble for another 15 minutes. So I don't want to take all of these humps and bumps out. I got to leave some for the particular Hobbit look. So it's going to probably take me 10, 15 minutes, and I'll show you how we finish it. All right, guys, let me show you the finishing touches of this particular chem set. You get it on, and you clean your wood. You just use a sponge float, a regular brush, whatever you want to use. Clean that, make it pretty. And the thing about this chem set EcoPlast 50 with a long name is, when it starts to harden, guys, it'll darken a little bit. Then you put your second coat. I don't advise anybody to try to do, this is 3 to 9 inches. Hey, I thought it was 3 to 6, but it's a little thicker, but nothing we could not handle. How soft is this still? Let's see. Kirk's the best. That's actually about, ooh, man, that's my whole finger. About 6 inches still. Trying to prove a point, guys. Now you could do two things. You could allow this to set for 2 to 3 hours. Then you could take a sponge flow. Now you're not bringing out the aggregate because there is no aggregate or sand in this. Silica is for plastering what we showed outside. There is no silica in this. Instead, it's volcanic ash. So if you float it right now, it'll be heavy. Like I'll show you. I don't know if the camera will show this. But if I float this, it's bringing out the volcanic ash. Volcanic ash is kind of like perlite, vermiculite. It's much heavier than sand. That's close to what they want. But here's what I recommend, guys. If you're going to do everything all in a day, which I don't recommend, why am I doing it? Because I can. You put it on. Okay, now you got to keep your trowel wet, just like if you're doing Structo-Lite interior, guys. The same gluey stuff. It's very gluey. So if I were to go down at all or trowel down, it's coming off because it's really thick, guys. So you want to just go up each time. Straight up. Now make your patterns. Clean that. You have to have a wet trowel each and every time, guys, for this particular stuff. Or Structo-Lite. Keep the trowel wet. And come on uptown. Okay. Keep that trowel wet. Come up. Now, if I was go down at all, I could prove a point because it'll come off. It'll just drag right off, and it's too fresh. It's too green. We used enough water to hydrate it, the straw, so it bonds with a mechanical bond. But if we keep playing with it, and I played with it a lot because me and Dan and Carl all spread this, so it's hard to know who troweled down what. But if you have straw bale in Sonora, I'll put Dan and Carl's phone number in the description. If you have it in the Oakland Hills or someplace close, I love doing straw bale plastering it. Call me or Jay. And no, guys, this is not. A lot of people say, "Are you a lime wash?" It's like, no, we're not doing a lime wash. Lime wash is I would take this lime, put it in a bucket, and make it soupy, and then paint brick or paint block. And by the way, that looks like crap when you do that. So lime wash was invented thousands of years ago when houses were made of actual branches, kind of like wattle and daub. You'd get the lime and then you'd get any kind of brush or broom, and you'd wipe it down a whole bunch of times. That's a lime wash, and that stops the bugs, bacteria, the wind, the roaches, ants, fleas, you name it, from getting in your house. Lime wash is not even used anymore, guys. So a lot of people do ask me, is this a lime wash? This is not a lime wash. This is lime plaster. And I actually did a video here using this this plastic. I'll put that in the description also. This is Chemset, so it's a different animal, and you don't add any excess sand. Everything you need is in the bag. Okay, let's see, what haven't I covered? To try to do what I'm doing here and answer every single application is not going to work, guys, because there's so many things you have to take into consideration. It's cold in here. How much water to put on the straw? Could you put any water on the straw? There's a lot of things to consider that we're not going over. We're just showing you how to apply it. Anyway, my name is Kirk. Carl's on the camera because this is his and Dan's job. So you got straw bale in the, where are we? Tuolumne. Call them. You got it in the Bay Area? Call Jay or myself. My name is Kirk. I'm with Kirk Giordano Plastering. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, folks, we want to thank you for watching how we do things in the stucco and plastering world. We really enjoy your questions and comments, so if there's anything you want to learn about that we can show you, please let us know in the comments. And as always, from the entire Giordano family,
we'll see you on the next one.